Hey y'all, it's me, Tiffany. Thanks for coming to hang out with me today on the Project Bag podcast. This is episode 6, and today is Saturday, March the 21st, 2020, or week 1 of the hostage situation. So, if you would like to find me on social media, you can find me as the Project Bag 35 on Instagram. Although right now I'm taking an Instagram hiatus. I just too much stuff out there. I couldn't take it anymore, so I deleted the app to give me, a little breathing room. But you're welcome to go and find me there. My account is private, but if you request to follow me when I get back on, I'll of course approve you as long as you're crafty. And also on Ravelry, I have a Project Bag podcast community group where you can find show notes and connect with other people that are viewers and want to hang out with me, communicate, whatever the word I'm looking for. Y'all, it is just, I don't even know how to behave anymore. So I think I'm under the guise of just anything goes. If I want to say it, I'm going to say it because we are in uncharted waters here. Who knows what kind of times we're living in. So anyway, I'm here to bring a little positivity to your day. So I guess I'll start out with what I'm wearing. Today's weather, I looked this up. I wanted to look it up in Celsius. Right now it's a real feel of 51 Fahrenheit or about 10.5 Celsius. And it's gray. Thankfully it's not raining, but it's just, yesterday was 70, 78, I think, real feel, and today is 51. So, long sleeves, a shawl. So I pulled out some knitwear. This is the Moho shawl. I knit it in June of last year, and it used 644 yards. I used a mini skein set from Unwind Yarn Company, and this was a set that I bought at Into the Wool this past year. Yes, 2019, because it was 6 years of fun was the set. I think that's right. Is that right? No, it couldn't have been 2019 because I did it in June of 2019. So it'd have to have been 2018. Yes. So, or 5 years of fun. I put 6 years of fun. I don't know why I did that. 5 years of fun because the retreat. Let me double check that because now I'm questioning myself all over the place. Oi! I thought this might be a little more coherent than last time, but maybe not. 5 years of fun, yes. So these were colorways that were dyed as retreat exclusives each year that the retreat has happened. Starting with this one. This was Making Memories 2014. This was Glamping at its Finest. This was Lake Francis Sunrise. This here was Without a Paddle. This is With a Paddle. This is Woodland Dreamer. Is that right? I think that's right. Or Woodland Dawn. I can't remember which. Woodland. Oh my gosh. It's on my project page. And then this was Dream. So it must have been, Woodland Dreamer, I think. And then this was Woodland Dawn. I mean, this was just Dream that coordinated with it. So I love it. It is fantastic. I really enjoyed this pattern too. I'm not usually one for this much garter stitch, but in this pattern I particularly love it. This is the Moho shawl by Christopher Salas. You can only buy it through Jimmy Bean's Wool. The pattern. It is on Ravelry, but you cannot purchase it through Ravelry. I knit this along with the girls from the 3 Ply podcast. They did a knit along with this pattern last year. This was the second one. I made one and bound it off and immediately cast this one on. I love it. And I fully intend to make another one. So that's what I'm wearing as far as knitwear goes. And then my nails are Color Street, of course. Now I'm using my rear facing camera today, so maybe it's focusing a little bit better, maybe not. I have no idea, no way of telling, but this is Glamsterdam, and I just applied them this morning, so they look fantastic. I mean, they always look fantastic anyway because Color Street lasts a long time, but okay. today's drink. Look at my cool mug, cup. This was given to me by my best friend Dana. We're best friends because everyone else sucks. She bought me mine in my favorite UT orange. And then this rainbow chromey straw was in our goodie bag at the retreat last year, at Into the Little last year. So, and in my cup is a nice cocktail of peach tea and peach crown roll, because I had some of that in the freezer. I'm hoarding it because for a while there you couldn't get it, but I understand it's back now. Okay, in process, I actually have quite a bit. Oh, I guess normally I do completed first. It probably doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. You probably don't care. I'm sure you don't care. Okay, in process. Last time, I believe I talked about my Advent wrap, and this time I'm going to talk about it again. When I showed it last time, I was up to this Ice Princess section, or colorway, and then I realized that I had put these two in incorrectly. I had put the Ice Princess here, and it was supposed to be here, so I ripped it back. I mean, these rows are only, I think, 8, 9, something like that. So, because I'm doing it in order of the way that I opened them, and also the way that Dana coordinated them to go. She put a nice coherent color scheme together, and I'd like to stick with it. I'm sure I didn't say this. These are minis from Unwind Yarn Company's Advent 2019 set. They were a Christmas gift to me because Dana is fabulous. And this is the Advent wrap by B. Devin Steiner. And so I am now, I think this is color 11 that I've got in here, 11 to 24. So, I mean, it's pretty big already. And then of course it's going to stretch quite a bit. So I'm really enjoying working on that. And my Bling Your String Crafty Bingo, one of my goals is to put 10 colors on my northeasterly blanket. And so I decided this week, after I finished the sweater the last time, I really didn't have any plans as to what I was going to make yet, or next rather. I mean, I finished a few things and I'll show you that, but I didn't have any big plans. So I decided I'd go ahead and just pick up my northeasterly and bang out, you know, that goal on my bingo. So the last time I worked on this blanket, I just had this one right here, this mini right here. So I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I get this finished, I'll be halfway through my goal of adding 10 colors. I don't know what any of these are, except I know that this is Unwind Yarn Company, and I cannot remember the colorway. And this right here that I'm currently working on is from Blueberry Chick Yarn, and Kay gave it to me as a gift. Kay's the dyer. She gave it to me as a gift, as a coordinator gift from Into the Wool last year. This colorway, I do know what this is too. This is Unwind Yarn Company, and this was from our mini skein set that was in the goodie bag last year. This, I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of Winnie the Pooh, and I would be interested to know if that's what it's supposed to be. But no matter, I've got these random ones from our mini skein swap that we do each year at the retreat. You know, you bring a 10 gram skein. I swear I haven't even had that much whiskey. My goodness. You bring a 10 gram skein, and you throw it out there, and you get, I think it's like 40 seconds to pick up as many, you know, equal amount that you brought to trade. So we throw them in a big pile, we draw numbers, and away you go. So anyway, that's that. This is I would like to make another one of these in just Unwind Yarn Company colors, because I have that many minis of Dana's. But I've decided I'm doing this on a size 4, and I think I'd probably go up to a 6, because it just does not feel like it's growing. I mean, I can tell it's growing. I mean, like I said, it was only this far along when I last worked on it, but it just feels like it's slow going. So I would like to maybe, you know, make it a little faster by bumping up a couple of needle sizes. Plus, I tend to be a tight knitter. On most patterns, I do need to go up always one needle size, if not two. So those are my own in process, what I've got, what I'm currently working on actively. Dana, we thought we were going to be doing a spring show. We thought we were going to be vending Smoky Mountain Fiber Arts Festival. She always gets a booth there. And then the last 2 years, and then this year, I was going to go down and be her booth help. And in trade for that, she was giving me a section of her booth to sell my bags. And that is unable to happen this year. So the show was canceled. And but before that, she had designed a colorway. Is that right? Yeah, well, a kit with a designer who designed a hat pattern that's got dinosaurs on it. So Dana was test knitting for the designer in the colors that, they were going to put at the kit together. And so she didn't think she was going to get the test knit finished in time for the show, and I offered to finish it for her. She's just got a lot on her plate with running 2 businesses and, full-time mothering and wifing and, all the things that go along with that. So, and I had plenty of downtime as far as my knitting goes. So I offered to finish it for her, and she sent it to me, arrived in the mail a few days ago, and I got to work on it right away. However, I has a sad about that. So this is the Clever Girl hat pattern. And as I said, it's got dinosaurs on it. It's got a little design, right around the brim, and then also at the very, at the crown right before the decreases. And if you want to know the colorway details, you can go to Dana of Unwind, to her profile page, and she has the colors listed there. She has a project page, but the pattern isn't linked because she started the test knit before, it was actually a pattern for sale on Ravelry. It is now. But anyway, as you can see, I've got a design here. It's going on. You can tell that it's half of a dinosaur shape taking part here. When I got it, there was, about this much of it done. This pattern has extremely long floats, and the designer refers to a tutorial on a the word I'm looking for is not coming to me. Unconventional. Thank you. That's what it was. Unconventional way of catching your floats, and she put a link in there, but then also she gave it to a photo tutorial of her own, and the two they're not the same. So Dana had started hers doing by the method in the link, and I just did the one by the picture tutorial in the pattern. And so it's just not working out very well. So I'm thinking I'm going to rip this out and start over, because I don't know how well it's going to translate or if it's going to translate, but there's little blips. I think if this wasn't a white background, maybe it wouldn't be as obvious. And it also, again, goes back to the fact that I'm a tight knitter. I mean, my floats aren't, it's stretchable, but I don't feel good about it. There's blips of green that I can see. And I kept trying to tell myself that maybe it would be okay, blocked out. But no, even as I'm, this far away from it, I see it. So I'm going to rip out and start over. I found through, I think it was Knit Pearl or Knit Pearl Hunter. I think that's her name on YouTube. I found a tutorial that she did that I would like to try. And we'll see. I mean, it worked up pretty quickly. It comes in chart form only, and now my eyesight is very well. My eye doctor tells me that my sight is improving as I age, which is so weird, but hey, I used to have to wear glasses. Now I don't need to wear glasses anymore, so I believe her. But just the chart is so tiny that it is hard to read it. These little squares and blah, blah, blah. So I wrote it out for myself. So now, especially since it's written out, it probably wouldn't, it would be fine to go back and do it again. I want to do it correctly, so... but anyway, when this is finished, I will be mailing it back to Dana, and she's got the purple or magenta, I think, and then she's got in here some blue. I think there's like a inverted triangle at the top near the crown, and I think that's what the blue is. So anyway, it's cute, and I'll be happy when it's finished, but I'll be happy when it's finished correctly. So that's that. But I wanted, before I ripped it out, I made that decision early to rip it out, and I said, wait, I gotta show it first to show that I've done something. Oh, I've got a little mini here. This is the next mini to go in this blanket, or in this wrap. This is called Mount Crumpet. So that'll be next. And I love this. When I do my northeasterly of Unwind only, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put in the northeasterly every other column to break it up and to give it some kind of pattern. So there's all that. Just a lot of, you know, I don't have to think a whole lot about it other than the hat, but, you know, the northeasterly, you know, I can do without having to look up any patterns. So what I've finished since the last time I recorded was the mitts that I talked about starting the last time. I did not use the pattern that I thought I was going to use. I instead chose to use the Cozy Thermal mitts. And by Karen Everett. This is 167 yards of Willow Tree yarns in the casual base. I'm hoping it's showing nicely because they're beautiful. And again, because it's gray outside and because it's almost 6 p.m., I'm having to use a artificial light, so I mean it's not the best, but I do have a project page for this. But anyway, the colorway is called Vintage Garden, and I held this doubled, and it is 179 yards held doubled. I also finished this hat. I cannot remember. There's a project page for it. I can't remember exactly which this hat was called. I think it was something about warm up for winter or love for winter or something to do with winter. But this is a hats for kiddos. It's the first one that I finished. I have 2 more ongoing, but they're barely started, so I'm not going to bother to show them. But I did a Vols color scheme. Of course I did. And again, with my color work, well, I used 2 different weights. Like this white is kind of an Aran weight, and then this orange is like a sport weight. So it's not exactly my most even bestest work, but you know, it's not bad. I'm sure a child is not going to complain about it. It's just that the hearts up top don't pop as nicely as they probably could, but you know, it's okay. And then curtains for my grandmother. I did make curtains. I already gave them to her. She's very happy with them, but I thought I would show the fabric that I used instead of showing you the project. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I mean, when you're quarantined with all the rest of your people, there's just no getting away from them. So they're outside, but you know, be forewarned that there might be an interruption or two, and I'm not going to stop. Because again, we're living in uncharted times. Anything goes. So this is the fabric that I used to make her curtains. She's got a very blue color scheme in her living room and dining room. So this was something pretty. I was just going to do, my grandmother's a very utilitarian sort of lady, but I thought I would force a little, you know, nicety on her. So, and then I did this backside here. I did put a piece of batting in between, but I mean, I didn't do anything fancy, but she was very relieved to be able to cover up her window at night and know that, have the security of knowing no one could look in on her. Honestly, as high up as the window is, I don't think anybody could have anyway. They would have had to been very determined, but you know, whatever brings her a little comfort. So that's that. And projects to come, I don't really have anything planned right now. Like I said, we'll see what strikes my fancy again in the next couple of weeks. I mean, who knows what's going on right now. I'm not able to work right now because I've alluded to the fact that I work with children. I do work at a school. Schools are closed, and because I'm a temporary employee, I do not get paid. So you know, it is what it is. I mean, I spent the last 3 years as a full-time homemaker, so I mean, you know, we've lived on one income before, and you know, we'll survive. Not ideal, but what are you going to do? Just going to roll with it. make do and carry on. So that's that. So we'll see what I get up to come. All right. What I've been doing while we've been, locked in the house here. Well, actually, I say locked in the house. I mean, I've been outside. I'm an introvert. I'm fine with being alone and being secluded from the world. I mean, that's kind of how I live my life on the regular. So, but I have gotten out with a neighbor, and we've done, well, a neighbor and a very good friend. We've walked around the neighborhood. We went to a state park, and yesterday my husband and I got on the motorcycle and had a very lovely ride down through the area where I grew up. And it's pretty secluded. It's in the woods, and it's just what I needed. I've gotten out in the backyard and had some fires, and it's for all intents and purposes, life is good right now. And then of course I've been knitting all along the way. So that's that. And also, while I've been inside on the days that it's been too chilly to be outside, I've been catching up on my DVR, and one thing I've been watching is Designing Women. My DVR will only hold 14 episodes at a time, and so I've been binge watching it like crazy, but several different channels are carrying the program. So today might be season 3, tomorrow might be season 5. I'm kind of all over the place, but that's okay. Suzanne is my favorite character. I just love her. I know she's offensive to a lot of people, but I don't know. That's something about her. I relate to her. So that's that. I've been doing Acorn TV, Murdoch Mysteries. I just finished season 13, so I was excited to see that, that new season was up. I think it's been up for a little bit, but, I just came across it. And Agatha Raisin also on Acorn TV. And I don't know what season it is, but I've read all the books, so the show is loosely based on the books, so they don't always follow along with who the book said the killer was or whatever. So, but I do enjoy that, and my younger son is he's the only one at home, and so he's watching it with me too. So that's been nice. So the only thing left is the Southern Maryland fun fact, and I've talked mostly these about Charles County, but Southern Maryland is made up of the 3 southernmost counties in Maryland: Charles, Calvert, and St. Mary's. So I decided to pull out a fact about Calvert County, which is from here is to the east of us. Well, if you look on a map, it's to the east of us. And Calvert County, the shape of Calvert County is basically north to south. Like, they're an up and down kind of shape. They border the, I think this is right, they border the Chesapeake Bay and some river. I might be wrong about the river. I've never really spent a whole lot of time in Calvert County. But anyway, what I found was that they have a barn. Look, I just looked this up, so I obviously didn't take too much in. Okay, the Calvert Barn Quilt Trail. There are 14 stops along the way. No, 17. 17 stops throughout the entire county of places, barns mainly, but buildings as well, that you could visit and see different quilt patterns. I see they have a sawtooth star, and I have a huge place in my heart for a sawtooth star. Any kind of star, really. The Lemoyne star is my favorite, but I do like a good sawtooth star as well. The Sawtooth Star is on the Butterflies and Wishes Teas and Sweets building, which is in Chesapeake Beach. And the owner of that shop, she hung the Sawtooth Star square in honor of her grandmother, who inspired the design through her beautiful embroidery. So if you, obviously you probably will not be traveling anytime very soon, but if you find yourself in this area of the country, even if you're in D.C., Calvert County is a very easy day trip from Washington, D.C. it's worth checking out. I will put a link in the show notes to this PDF brochure that I downloaded, but it gives each area of what the pattern is, what the address is, and then also the second page of the brochure is a handy map. But like I said, it's up and down, so I mean, I don't know how many hours it would take, but you could certainly do the whole drive in a matter of, you know, several hours. So that's that. That was an interesting find, and is, I mean, who knows? As long as they don't enforce martial law anytime soon, maybe that's what I'll end up doing one day next week, is just getting in the car and, you know, driving around. Although I am trying to conserve fuel at the moment just because, you know, I don't know when I'll be getting a paycheck again. So, I think that's probably all you're going to get from me today. Hubby and I, and maybe our son, we're going to jump out here in a little bit and head to La Plata, to the Sonic. We're going to get us some ice cream. Although, I'm trying to talk him to go into Cold Stone instead of the Sonic. But, we'll see where we end up. No matter, you know, I'll take my knitting along for the ride and it'll be fine. So thank you again for coming to hang out with me, and I hope that you all are well and safe and that you are enjoying your crafting time, whatever it may look like right now, and just, you know, soaking in all that precious time with your families. So I will talk to you again soon. Bye!